Massive chance for the defending champions.
Yeah, I really think he didn't really hit it well too, Mackenzie. The deflection, because it didn't have the pace on it, really redirected. But had he really hit that one and placed it to the corner, then I felt he would have had some success.
Morton's ball inside at the back post. The header is wide of the mark.
But it was a good build-up play, good 1-2 in that very tight area in the 18-yard box there for Mona. Slick, but in the end, the finished product didn't match the outfield play or the play before that, the build-up play.
Again, the ball over the top. No issues there for the Mona back line. Lovely first touch that was. Nice pass too. Peralta will get there. Try to place that one inside first time. Nicely done. Lovely skill. The shot though wanted a little bit more power. There is a bit of lightning away to our right, but it's some distance away for the time being. So no threat to the players at this point in time. Peralta skipping away from the challenge and allowing that one to go for a corner kick.
I guess with 15 minutes gone, you could see the pattern here. Very direct from Waterford, and Mona D will build up to the third.
Mackenzie's ball inside at the back post. No Mona player was there. And here's an effort that's wide of the mark.
Interesting though, Leger, on that corner kick from Mona. Didn't come in a lot of players in there, just 2 players in there, and the rest were outside the box, yet the cross went into the box as well. You'd feel with the players out there, maybe there was a set play that was going to see that cross going outside of the box, and a strike or another setup. That wasn't happening.
I was just noticing the same thing actually, Dwight. Mona haven't been committing too many players to their set pieces. Maybe not seeing it as an ideal way to score.
The fact that they're building through the thirds and want it to be, as you said, total football perfect. Or maybe a little bit concerned about Waterford direct's play and the fact that they will go along very quickly.
Here is Sean Layton. That wasn't the most convincing clearance, was it? Ball played out wide. Don puts it back inside, and well, they haven't been on top of their clearances, Waterford. That one was a little better. But Mona will just be able to recycle possession. Here they come again. Swaz out wide. And Dunn is on it. And Layton collects. Good to see him filling out a jersey for a change, Sean Layton. Really was a tiny character over the last couple of years for Mona. Would have made his debut in the Manning Cup just a couple of seasons ago at the age of 13. I can remember that season for him. He was lost in the shirt that he had on.
I'd leave that filling out of the jersey to you and Ligier, because...
Oh, that's a wonderful hit. Magnificent goal. From way outside the box. Jaheim Daly was beaten. He doesn't know what struck him there. And he will remember that hit Carlton Brown from the heart of the midfield, literally. And the defending champions go ahead.
That was a really good strike from him. And we're just talking about filling things out. That was a hit and some. Certainly a good strike. The Waterford defenders just backed off and gave him a lot of space, and he decided that, hey, let's have a pop at this one. And there was no chance for goalkeeper Daly. Yeah, just flagging at tin ear there.
Well, that's going to be in the top 10 at the end of the season.
A big call from you, Donald, very early, but yeah, that's a big strike.
It certainly will be a memorable one. First goal of the Manning Cup season goes to Mona. And I'm glad to say it was a scorcher as well. That's something that Craig Butler instills in his players from pretty early. The ability to strike the ball well. That was in full display there.
They're quite pleased there, Butler. His team, the outfield play, has not been as silky as he probably would want it, or consistently that way. But maybe a goal will just settle them down. And the old cliche, we all know how big a goal is in football, the difference it makes, and maybe we'll see Mona settling down a little bit more.
That strike is going to be memorable. Swazo on it. Finding Dunn. Dunn couldn't control. Oh, that's a nice little move there from Jabari Palmer. He's lost it though. And Mona will try and come away. Leighton has acres of space, decides to play it first time to Dunn. Dunn attacking the box. And his feet weren't cooperating with his mind. And he lost possession in the end. Mona again. If it's possible, their confidence has risen. Peralta, though, probably in a couple of minds there. In the end, not quite offering the pass or the shot, the captain.
And that's what tends to happen too when we rethink that strike from Carlton Brown, is that even when your team is not playing well and you're a bit rusty coming out of pre-season, not quite up to speed, it's individual qualities a lot of times that just decides a game, and Mona is packed with it. And in those
clash of the heads there, both players will need some urgent attention.
And as I was saying in the early parts of this game, it will take that sometimes to just really separate and settle people down. Mona packed with quality. Waterford, they're up against it now because they're playing really direct, and you feel that they don't have the quality to really build through the thirds, and they don't have the speed up front. If they could just have a play up front, you feel that can really test these two centre-backs for Mona, who stays back in their attack, as we see the collision there. And referee Parkinson, Gordon there coming out the worst for Mona. Yeah, they want a little bit more up front, playing that direct style, and maybe set up more for that second ball, Waterford, because they're not winning the first and they're not winning the foot race.
Seems that Robinho Gordon will be quite fine. Hasn't been the smoothest first period of this game so far from either team. Waterford seemingly tried to rely on some long passes and some moments of transitional football, but it hasn't been effective. Mona High certainly have seemed the brighter of the two teams. Carlton Brown giving them the lead with a fabulous strike. And there it is, Alex Suazo getting a bit of in-game exercise.
You know, it's interesting, Leger. It'd be interesting to see if they're under pressure, how long does he wait to have them do that? If they're in the box making an error, they're not. They'll have to go down the same point that they've made the error. So he's consistent from last season, Coach Butler. As much as they're champion last season and they did well, I don't think that's one thing I'll be copying anytime soon as a coach.
Again, a long ball inside the area that Mona, they managed to repel. And they tried to come forward now into the attacking third. Just one touch was needed to get by the defender. And it goes out into touch. They move quickly through the gears. Mackenzie has some space, but he is calling for help. At the back post, the finish is not good. He was begging for his forward players to come through the ranks. In the end, it was Dunn who found himself over on that far side trying to finish and missing the target.
Yeah, just getting it all wrong in terms of the contact with it. Just need to get his foot around that ball and hit into that far post. Seemed as if he went for the near post.
Nice touch inside. Lovely by Mona inside the area. Oh, beautiful stuff. And the effort is blocked. That was a lovely bit of skill over on the far side.
Yeah, it was really a good one. It just worked his way through there as if there were cones on a training ground and just dribbling his way through. But certainly good bit of skills there. Good bit of skill. But that's what I'm saying, the individual talent here on display for Mona, and that's might just be enough for them when their team isn't silky smooth all the time, consistently.
I think that was Mitchum over on the far side who was putting off.
It was Mitchum.
A bit of skill there.
And number 18.
Oh, that's a lunge from behind. Carlton Brown getting a bit of talking to from referee Farquharson, telling him to cut it out.
Yeah, but probably worth another look. But build-up plays like that and moves like that, they do deserve an end product.
Yeah, this was dangerous coming in.
Yeah, not that move.
I think he also slipped as well.
Interesting.
Carlton Brown.
Interesting too, when he slipped, the tights that he's wearing is a red one, not consistent with the rules, which suggests it has to be the lower trimming of the shorts or the main color of the shorts.
Ball played inside, the flag goes up. Lovely ball along that channel and done. So that's Morton who has it. Pass fell short, and Hansen surrounded by a couple of players. Kevin Reid just giving some instructions. Opportunity here. Mackenzie turning inside the area. Ran out of real estate. Leighton was thinking of the shot. Another lunge there. This time from Swazo. Waterford unable to regather themselves. Now it's with Peralta. There's an overlapping run. Plays it inside. Peralta pokes that one wide of the mark.
Yeah, another bit of play again coming from the left side of Mona, and they're dominating that area. Overloads as well, and Waterford just can't deal with it. It's faulty finishing why this game is still at 1-0 for Mona. Mona could have easily been 3 or 4 goals to the good, but they're getting a lot more joy coming down their left side. Been crowded out down the right side, or just faulty passing on this near side, but on the far side we've seen some really good footwork, some good combination play, and just not finishing.
They've been well, they've been late on a couple of instances with their tackles. Mona High haven't really been under the caution in that regard, but it's probably something that they need to look at. A couple of times they've been out of possession. We've seen a couple of lunges as well.
I think, you know, thinking as a coach, they could be probably loaded coming into this one, not offloaded well. And sometimes as coaches you do that because of the opponent you're playing. Maybe no disrespect to Waterford, but they could feel, maybe based on the pre-season where it has gone, come into this game slightly loaded, and as such they look a bit laboured at time. And that's why I was saying, even for the direct play of Waterford, if they had a slightly quicker player up front, I think they could have worried this Mona backline a little bit more. But Raheem Henry doesn't have the speed, not blessed with it. So that could be the cause of it as well, Donald.
Waterford, they have a corner kick here. Here's the delivery. Keeper calling for it and got it. Riquelme Edwards hurls it out immediately. Mitchum really looks to be a skillful player here. Looking for options, decides to go for goal himself. And it's wide of the mark. He looks to be a little audacious as well, the youngster.
Yeah, nothing shy about him, very expressive. And that's a good thing as a coach. The most difficult thing done there, the most difficult thing that you can coach is personality. So when you get players who are very expressive and look to impose themselves on the game, and they don't need you to tell them everything to do, then that's a good thing.
It seems as if Mona are just churning out skillful wingers. Last season it was Kishane Gordon rampaging down the wings. He's now gone, and they've seemingly within a year replaced him quite ably.
Well, he's gone on the bench actually, as Mona coming forward again. Opportunity! Goal! Pretty savvy from Savvy K. Morton, who opens his account this season. And the defending champions are running away in the opening game, leading Waterford by 2-0 now.
Yeah, again, you talk about the finish, and the first strike was beautiful. And that came from Brown, Carlton Brown. This one, it was just exquisitely placed, execution perfect. And there was no chance for Daly. Again, both goals, you can't fault him on it. And you see it's faulty clearance from Waterford. But once it plays out wide, and he settled himself lovely on that left boot. And just out of the outstretched arm of Daly. Yeah, just curling away from him. Yeah, maybe you think. Just over it, I think well placed.
Yeah, I think he was well placed indeed, but I think Daly maybe took a step to his right, expecting it to curl into the far post, and I think it was actually a pretty clever finish in the end.
Probably gave him the eyes for the far post.
Exactly. And Mona may not be finishing all of their moves precisely, but when they do finish, those goals are looking quite lovely.
Really good strike of the football.
Mitchum. Ball sent across. Nice back heel. Leighton inside. Stabbed out of the box. Mona will try again. Lovely dink. Helped on by Leighton. Gordon trying to send it across. That should be a throw to Mona High. They're moving on with this. Leighton. Mackenzie.
He certainly scored a few of those stunners throughout his schoolboy football career, Mackenzie. Not quite on that occasion. But Dwight, I wanted to get your input on this one. I'm liking what I'm seeing when Mona get to the bar line. It's always to get a cutback into that dangerous zone. And if you're looking at the Jamaica match from yesterday against Cuba, you could see a couple of, as we see Waterford actually getting on the attack here.
Yep, he remained onside, just didn't have the speed to get by Swazo.
I think not only the speed, Donald, but the confidence as well. He just seemed to pull that break up, that handbrake up, once he got past the defender looking for help.
Nicely done by Hansen, but he was challenged there at the right time. Leighton now helping it on to Savike Morton. Morton with a ball over the top, and it's going to be a free kick to Waterford.
Yeah, finishing my point there. I'm liking what Mona are doing when they're getting to the byline. It's always to cut that ball back into the most dangerous zone. And if you follow what the numbers people say, the tacticians say as well of the world, when it comes down to football, in and around that penalty box is where the most dangerous opportunities come from, the most dangerous shots come from. And I think maybe that defensive midfielder for Waterford needs to key in and try and get into that zone more to maybe block some of those shots or stop some of those crosses coming in. And Dwight, I'm sure that's a key part of what you tell your defensive midfielders and also your wingers as well when they're cutting those balls back.
Yeah, be a defensive midfielder, he has to be a pessimistic player in your team. He just has to think that everything will go wrong and always will go wrong, always thinking where the danger is going to come from. So he always has, and that helps with their positioning as well. I've always said to my D-mid, we're in attack, you're the deepest man from a corner, ready to lash onto a loose ball, but at the same time you're thinking, where could this team hurt us if they break? And yeah, I like it from Mona because out wide too, the overloads are there too, and Waterford not dealing with it as well. And you talk about the dangerous pass and shots, they're coming from those half spaces, and the tacticians will tell you and the stats will tell you that's the most dangerous area. Too wide for centre backs to come out, too narrow for wing backs to go in there, and I think Mona really are using it in that overload when they get there. The runners are making sure that they have presence in those half spaces. And the cutback.
Morton on it. Leighton, lovely stuff, but the finish is just over. It was Mitchum again, making a run inside the area. Should have buried that one though.
Why he's not getting push-up for that one? That's the one that you want to give him push-up for, because he should finish that one. But there's a lovely ball inside. Just took his eyes off it, looking at the goal, but it popped up just at the last minute as well.
It was slightly behind him. I think he had to reach for it just a little bit. But you're right, he should have put that one away.
And maybe he hasn't looked at the bench to see the signal to do the push-ups as well.
It did come.
Here's a shot from distance again, and it goes over the top.
Yeah. Mona players are certainly not shy of letting go from range.
And just to finish your point off as well, in terms of the cutback, a lot of the times the defenders will want to get into the line of the ball. So when you take it down that goal line, they will all get inside, in line with that ball. That cutback is always dangerous for the attackers arriving late or position or just checking their runs and allowing the defenders to go forward. So Mona really doing well with that. So yeah, you're right, really, Jay.
And you mentioned the half spaces as well. That's clearly something that Coach Craig Butler is keying on, because when I spoke to him before the game, he was quick to mention if I've seen his formation for the game, and he said, check how many wingers I have playing on each team. And when we see the team sheet here, it's showing that you have 2 right wingers, 2 left wingers on each side of the pitch. So it's clear that he was trying, or is trying, to exploit those wide areas. And it's something that Mona are doing pretty well. It will also be interesting to see whether or not this is something that he can continue with, because having all of those wide players that high and that wide is going to leave you susceptible to those quick breaks. Can he do that against the better opposition in the Manning Cup?
Here they come. Mona High, Leighton, skillful himself, finding Mackenzie. The cut back at the... Oh yeah, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Again, he's in the right place at the right time, ever so often. And another wonderful finish from Carlton Brown, his second of the game. Cut back right on the penalty spot. And unchallenged, unmarked, unprovoked, he finished. And Mona, 3-0 up.
That's the discussion, Ligier playing itself out perfectly with the ball going out wide. Just look at Mackenzie when he arrives there and pick up that ball inside, just in that half space. Again, on track. You have two Mona defenders that were out there, but just didn't pick up that half space. It's really difficult. And then the arrival late of Brown, and just an expert finish, just placing it, passing it into the far corner. And again, Daly, no chance. So they did counter it, or try to counter it, Waterford, with players out wide. But again, that half space run, intelligent from Mackenzie.
And for once, the commentators didn't have a curse.
Well, don't ask Waterford that. Again, the ball is cut back in a dangerous area. And they managed to hack it out of the area. Still thinking about what Dwight Jeremiah said about the CDM being the most pessimistic player, based on the fact that he has to look out for anything that could go wrong. I suppose he doesn't give pep talks, right?
He does when you're out of possession. He'll want to say to everybody, look, this is a dangerous moment, we have to get this right. So that's when he comes into play. So you have your moments.
Mackenzie, again, looking to go over the top. Leighton has come more and more into this game.
But again, it's about tracking your runners too, because yes, the D-mid might be there and in his position, but he has to also be communicating. And Donald talk about pep talk. It's about calling your players off, getting them to come with their runners, because Brown, he arrived and there was nobody coming with him. He's a CDM for Mona, so he's arriving from deep, and that's what happened when players come from deep, hardly tracked.
Mackenzie's ball inside. Again, they haven't really committed players in the box with these set pieces. Mona High, it's almost as if they're disinterested from scoring from these set plays.
Well, I don't know what quite to say, because if you're trying to be an expert on total football, a part of that as well is the set pieces. But maybe they have their own tactic. Maybe it's something that we're not quite seeing as yet as well.
Maybe something like what we talk about with Waterford going direct. Setting up for the first ball and not the second.
There's a dink inside. Managed to reach him, you know, but unable to get it under his spell. Leighton again. Again, the ball played out wide as they try and stretch the game. Morton. Twisting, turning. Touched inside well. Oh, lovely stuff. This one is again played inside the area. They're queuing up. They are queuing up. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. It really doesn't matter. 4-0 up now. And what can I say about this Mona High team in this first half? Robinho Gordon, again with the finish. They were just queuing up inside the box. It's their 5th shot on target and their 4th goal now with 5 minutes to go in the first half.
Yeah, again, it should have been finished off on the first, cut back inside. But they have so many players queuing up. There's no shortage of players win from open play, getting into the box. So I guess there's method to the madness. Or as they would say. But I think what he's doing with these set plays is that it's a default action when you play the ball in the box that the defenders are going to try and just nod it back out. So he's setting up for that second ball.
Yeah.
And I think what a lot of people don't understand at the international level, gone are the days when you expect your defenders just to head it out. They should try and make a pass with that clearance. Can they make a pass with it? Waterford not doing that, Mona capitalizing on that, because not many teams will do that.
What I was curious about this Mona High team, even a couple of seasons ago when they were playing that type of football, they really pounced on the mistakes of their opposition. And you can tell with certain tactics, even in this season, that they're trying, especially with the free kicks and the set pieces, that you're right, they're trying to pounce on the second ball.
They are, and what Waterford isn't doing is probably heading wide or high.
Or so controlling it.
Yes.
So yeah.
And controlling it is not a bad option, and looking for a pass out, because they have more numbers in the box, so it's about 6v2. You can make a pass, you can try and see if you can hold it up. Then you force Mona to then make a decision. Do we commit more now? Because they're not just heading it out.
Remember to download the SportsMax app today from the Google Play or the App Store. But what a performance from Mona High in this first half.
When you talk about coaching and result, this is what we speak about. I'm sure everything that Coach Craig Butler, or most things apart from maybe a couple errant swats or passes, would be what he would have wanted from on the training ground. Getting those wide overloads, attacking those half spaces, getting the cutbacks for the highest probability chances in football, and his players eventually started finishing them.
So as I may be asked to do a few more push-ups.
Signal didn't come. But
I think they have stopped looking at the bench, actually.
And then the coach can't fault them if they say, I didn't see. But interestingly too, for Waterford, in their part, you know, I do that as a coach. Either if I don't have that technical knowledge beside me, is that for the first 5 or so minutes, 10 minutes of the game, I'm focused on the opponent. If I have my assistant, I said, try and tell me what my opponent is doing, what they're trying to achieve, so that you can either counter it or try to exploit it. I don't think Waterford is doing that at the moment, and maybe the standing coach, as we see him in the technical area, might just be looking at Waterford.
Mitchum gets a return ball, couldn't quite grab it, and now the long ball over the top. Waterford through on goal, and Gordon in the way, putting in a foot there, and well, the signal is for a goal kick. I thought it was a deflected shot off him, but apparently it went straight off the foot of Jabari Palmer over the top, and it's beginning to rain a little harder here in Montego Bay.
Literally, I think that move just answered your question. Your earlier question is whether or not Mona can do this against more accomplished teams, because of the wingers, high and even playing wing backs. They leave two at the back, and if teams go direct, you know, better quality player just know, not saying he would score, but definitely would test the custodian Edwards. So I think it's more par for the course in terms of what they're up against, and that's more of a pragmatic approach, despite liking total football.
I completely agree with you, actually, Dwight. As the rain comes down, we see another long punt. And another wasted one as well, as that one goes out for a goal kick.
Not a lot of time added to this one. Mona, they have been convincing in this first half. A couple of goals from Carlton Brown, and one each from Savike Morton and Robinho Gordon. Well, they've put the defending champions firmly in control in the opening fixture over Waterford. They have a lot to think about as they head into the break here, and it seems that the defending champions are on their way big time in the Manning Cup. 4-0 at half-time, Mona over Waterford High.
You're watching coverage of ISSA schoolboy football, brought to you by KFC, It's Finger Licking Good, and Water, Land of Good and Water.
Sneakers and spikes?
Check.
Her looks?
Check.
So, I just want to know, where's the water?
Oh!
Thanks, but I mean, the water. As in the cases of water. So she can stay hydrated for the games? Where's the water?
I didn't think she was taking water with her to Paris.
You're watching coverage of ISSA schoolboy football, brought to you by KFC, It's Finger Licking Good, and Water, Land of Good and Water.
Welcome back to the Catch and All Sports Complex in Montego Bay, where Mona High is leading this contest against Waterford by 4-0. It's been a dominant performance, and we look at the KFC highlights, halftime highlights here in this opening Manning Cup fixture. It was all about Mona, and from those wide areas, Mona, they literally dominated, getting the cut back here. This should have been 1-0. Didn't come there. Mackenzie unable to open in his account, but the rest of the team, our scorers, won't have so much difficulty doing so. They kept backing off, nobody stepping up, and just like that, a wonder goal from Carlton Brown. Top bins, as they would say. Goalkeeper, all he got was tin ear, and you give good players time and space, that's the end product. And yes, Daly, sit yourself down, because there's nothing you could do about that one. And just like that, Mona was off and running in the 2024 Manning Cup. And again, lovely bit of skill, and that cut back should have been 2. And again, just a little bit nonchalant with that finish. You can't fault them, because Mona has been getting so much time and space to execute from this Waterford team. And again, Mona, second goal there from Martin, going out wide to him, setting himself on that left plank of his, and the goalkeeper undone by the eyes, looking to go to the far post, but just deciding to go near post. That's good thinking from Martin, and even better execution. And Mona weren't done there, because they were always dominating, creating overload in those half spaces, and Denzel McKenzie occupying it so well. And it was Carlton Brown who was to get on the score sheet again. A double for him, expertly placing it out of the reach of Daly. That's a finish if there was one, just passing that one into the bottom corner. And Mona, with all the encouragement from Daly to his Waterford team, they just couldn't stay with this Mona team. And it's again from the wide areas, and even when the first touch is bad, the second is always there, because they have numbers and runners coming in. And Rabino Gordon was on the end of this one after a missed touch from Mitchum, who could have had his second. And Mona, they lead the contest by 4-0. And we look at the SportsMax halftime stats. Mona, 16 shots, 5 on target, 4 goals. Waterford just 1 shot, at least they have it on target. And 4 fouls committed by Mona, 1 by Waterford. Yellow cards, red cards, been a clean game, too clean for Waterford's liking, you feel. Offside, just 1 for Waterford. And 3 corners dominating again by Mona, 1 for Waterford. 70% possession. And that's how telling it has been for this Mona team. Jenny is somewhere in the stands. I don't know which one of the fans she's with, but let's hear from her.
Yes, thank you, Dwight. I'm here with the Mona Pride family, but this family is from Mexico, so hola, everybody. They are supporting the number 6, Alex. Remind me of his last name. Alex Peque. Alex Peque, and he is originally from Montego Bay, but he's representing Mona High tonight. Talk to me about your son's performance so far. How are you feeling as his mom?
Okay, I'm feeling very blessed and very proud because Alex is working very hard all those years to represent Mona.
Well, I know they have to prepare for the match. Did you prepare any Mexican food for him today, or was he just eating an original Jamaican meal?
Oh, Jamaican meal.
Okay, well, we are...
Chicken and rice and peas, for sure.
Are you enjoying the jerk chicken as well?
Oh, yes, yes. We have 5 years ready in Jamaica.
Well, we are seeing the performance from the boys so far. I want to hear from you guys now. Talk to me. You guys have scored 4 goals in this contest. How are you feeling?
I mean, 4 goals before halftime is crazy, to be honest. And I'm really hoping that we can score at least 5 more.
Do you think that Mona can win it this season again? I know it's the first day.
Of course. Last year it was pretty easy, I'd say. Last year we won. And this year again. Next year, again for sure.
Well, I am here with the sister as well, so I want you to say some nice words to your brother as well as the team.
I'm very proud of Alex. I know he has worked very hard for this, and I know he's very proud in those locker room right now. And I just wish him the best in his football career, and I'm very proud of him.
Well, I know that they will be celebrating after this match, but we've heard it here from them first. This is Mona Pride. We'll be seeing them all season long, but we have more football for you after the break.
You're watching coverage of ISSA Schoolboy Football, brought to you by KFC, It's Finger Licking Good, and Water, Land of Good and Water.
I love football, but I don't just play for me. I do it for Jamaica and for the fans on the journey with us. The ones who live for every shot and cheer every goal. The ones who know that performing on the big stage means big effort with big support. And of course, chicken with big flavor.
KFC's Big Deal. 3 pieces of delicious chicken, fries, and a drink. The perfect fan fuel for cheering on or history-making reggae girls. KFC, proud sponsors of Khadija Shaw and the Reggae Girls.
Sneakers and spikes.
Check.
Her looks.
Check.
So, I just want to know, where's the water?
Oh.
Thanks, but I mean, the water. As in the cases of water. So she can stay hydrated for the games? Where's the water?
I didn't think she was taking water with her to Paris.
I love football, but I don't just play for me. I do it for Jamaica and for the fans on the journey with us. The ones who live for every shot and cheer every goal. The ones who know that performing on the big stage means big effort with big support. And of course, chicken with big flavor.
KFC's Big Deal. 3 pieces of delicious chicken, fries, and a drink. The perfect fan fuel for cheering on or history-making reggae girls. KFC, proud sponsors of Khadija Shaw and the Reggae Girls.
Sister, welcome. We've missed this boat. Let's not miss the next one.
It's been revealed. The SportsMax Zone is the #1 show on Caribbean television.
Are we supposed to assume that this was an accidental leak?
No, Faz, but here's the thing. It's riveting.
Just lock it down then. If we're not going to do this, let's just lock it down. What is the point?
Do you think he's a favorite to retain his home?
It's bold.
Definitely the best club in the world. Hands down.
In the world?
You know, that's not even a question.
My heart is still in Trinidad, but my thoughts could be abroad.
And it's a whole lot of fun.
So let's just keep the conversation over here for teams that got out of the group, you know?
Yeah. This guy you see here, he's an idiot.
This time me I go take it to them.
Yeah,
Jamaica my thing day. Is that how y'all know? I have to say it.
Join us weekdays 4:30 p.m. Jamaica time, 5:30 p.m. ECT on SportsMax.
Every moment leaves a mark. The time has come to continue making history. La Liga on your home of champions. Watch the Paralympics on SportsMax, SportsMax 2 and SportsMax Plus from August 28th to September 8th.
Join us on SportsMax and SportsMax Racing as the glorious British summer rolls on with the Irish Champions Festival, a unique and top-quality racing weekend, Saturday at Leopardstown and Sunday at the Curragh. No less than 6 Group 1 and a classic contest, as well as a number of other exciting races await you on the 14th and 15th of September. Action begins at 8 in the morning in the Eastern Caribbean, 7 in Jamaica. Do not miss it. Elevate your viewing. Download the SportsMax app today.
You're watching coverage of ISSA Schoolboy Football, brought to you by KFC, It's Finger Licking Good, and Water, Land of Good and Water.
Welcome back to the Montego Bay Sports Complex as we're here for the start of the ISSA Schoolboy Football season, and in particular the Manny Cup, which is the first game on the way here today. And the defending champions Mona High, they are comfortable in front, 4-0 the score line over Waterford High. They've really been under the cosh, the team from Portmore, and they're going to be hard pressed to get under it or get from under it and try to make an impression on these guys who are here to make an impression, as they usually do, especially last term when they beat all comers to lift the symbol of corporate area schoolboy football supremacy. And they've already showed their potential, and even if it's just a hint of it with their performance in the first half, just tearing Waterford apart on several occasions in that first stanza. Waterford with little response.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if I expect too much of a response in the second half either. I think these Mona players seem the fitter unit, the more in sync unit as well. And I think that has led to this team really running riot over this Waterford team. And unless we see some pretty medieval tactics, I don't think we're going to see too much of a change in the second half. But it is football. A lot can happen. Mona actually preparing to make a sub, I believe. Not quite sure what's happening on the touchline. But yeah, so much attacking flair and talent in this Mona team. We saw that last season. It seems as if they're continuing in the same trend, the same vein in this. Bit of a hold up for the second half as you see a couple of players congregating by the touchline at the halfway line.
Cameron Salesman, it seems, is getting ready to get on the park, but who is he going to replace? Mitchum. So Franklin Mitchum takes a seat. And we're on the way here for the start of the second half. Just to confirm the sub there with Mitchum having made a couple of decent runs over on the far side. We see that he can be a dangerous player. This ball cut back inside. Here's an opportunity. A shot taken. Oh, that's magnificent. It's a hit and a half from Swazo. Perfectly executed. And so too this performance from the defending champions. They are on a high.
Yeah, it looks literally as well, Donald, in terms of what they're sipping there. But it's as if they're in a competition as to which strike can be better, because the goals just keep getting better and better for Mona. That was a strike and some, and that brought out a big smile there from their coach. And Janae was talking to his family at half-time. Now, they're happy with some jerk chicken. I guess they'll be having a lot more of that one, and they say that's what he had. But yeah, just watch that one. There was no saving that one. That hit the post and went in. That's one of those strikes where you say impossible to stop. But it seems Waterford has not learned their lesson. They're just giving them acres of time and space, and no matter how far from goal they are, they have a strike on them, this Mona team.
And I think Dwight Jeremiah described the shot as impossible to stop. I think this Mona unit will be impossible to stop for Waterford as well. It's certainly been that way so far. 5-0 up now, and what a strike that was. Did try his luck from range a couple of times in the first half, so as and I'm not quite sure if he did some push-ups in the halftime break as well,
but he's not doing one more for the rest of the season after that strike.
I'm sure we'd love to hope so.
Yeah, he'll quickly forget that one, but at some point we're not going to forget that one, and the viewers are not going to. You did say, Donald, with the first strike that one certainly was going to be in the top 10. I wonder if you're going to pull that top 10 halfway now with just Mona goals, because that is as good as the first, or even better.
Yeah, Swazo has also made the top 10 for the season. I'm calling it from early.
There's the family that Janae was talking with earlier, mother.
Which one was the mother?
One waving to the cam.
Okay. Mona, it seems as if they can do anything in this game.
Yeah, they've been afforded. But, given time and space, you still have to execute with quality. And we see a lot of teams will give them time and space still, and they don't hurt you, as this Mona team is doing. But, this is, what, four different goal scorers?
Yeah.
That we're looking at?
Yeah, Brown with 2.
Yeah.
Swazo along with Morton and Gordon.
Yeah, so quality all over.
The Reggae Boys needed some sort of finish or some finishing yesterday.
Yeah, when you have teams sitting deep in low blocks, maybe you need strikes like those to really unlock it. And Waterford, they're not quite sure if they need to come out or sit deep. It should be damage control here.
Yeah, I was about to say I wasn't quite sure if I would call this a low block, the amount of space.
You call it a goal block, maybe? They're sitting that deep.
Well, if I'm calling this a block, I'd be doing the word of discredit.
Well, here's Leighton with the run. Ball played inside of the back post. He has time and space to shoot, and he drilled it wide.
Well, they do have some decorative blocks. There's a lot of holes in them. So maybe we could still use those.
Yeah, I don't think Waterford's block is made of cement or anything like that, more so a Lego one. Going to be a substitution as well for Waterford.
Yeah, Marcus Reed is being taken out.
Yeah, the number 3 coming in.
23, Rodane Williams.
And it's an extra defender. He's a left back by trade. So just trying to see if they can plug the gap here, the gaps here, or make that Lego a little bit reinforced.
But you know, Dwight, I don't think we're quite giving Mona enough credit, because you're saying plug the yeah, you're saying plug the gaps, but what are you meant to do when a team is pushing forward 6-7 players against your back line?
Lovely ball again over the top, and the finish though didn't have a lot of power behind it.
I understand that there's a lot of space, but there is going to be a lot of space when you have runners moving in and out of positions. The defenders aren't going to know who to track, especially if they're not trying to employ a man marking system.
Yeah, I just feel that too they could just change in terms of a mid or low block, and when I say that, no, it's about being organized, and whether you're going to have 5 at the back there dropping into that back 4, and then 4 in front, and just 1 doing the pressing up front. Just sit in that low block and just try and frustrate this Mona team, make it difficult. We've seen the best teams in the world find it difficult to break down.
Well, here's Waterford looking for a response, and that goes high, wide, not quite handsome for a goal kick.
I think some would say it was naive for probably Waterford to come out to say, okay, we're going to go toe-to-toe here and play open football against this Mona team. And maybe leading into this game, it should have been a rehearsal for weeks on those mid or low blocks, and just trying to pick up runners, mark players, and make it difficult for space in behind. Look at the
here is
space
in behind for Mona. Done to the byline, pulls it back. Too far back. It's like clockwork at the moment.
I'm sure Waterford will be trying not to make the score come off the clock. Keep this one below 12.
But I tell you, it seems a difficult task at the moment, but they could take heart from the fact that they only conceded 4 in the first half. So if we were to double, let's still stay on that dial as you're talking. But I think it really should be about damage control and just knowing that this game is lost. I mean, just to retain whatever is left in terms of confidence and looking forward to the next game. It should be more like that, and just trying to be organised and frustrate them and just set them realistic targets. Say to your charges, look, what if we can just minimize it to 2 goals in the second half, and then you leave the game and your talk is that, oh, we were better defensively, and if we can do this against Mona, then we can do this against other teams in this zone, which is not as good as that. We see some argy-barging taking place there. They have some fight in them still, Waterford, but not in the right way. Ferry Farkinson not having any of it in terms of explanation from Mona.
Well, Henry's going to go into the referee's book, and so too Suazo. Peralta was trying to get involved, saying that it was just a simple reaction from Suazo, but usually reactions get punished in this game, so didn't have much of a point.
Yeah, I think it's fair enough, because should this come, it's equal. But yeah, I think that has to be the approach, Leger, from Waterford. Just try to get positives from it, and little incremental things like that to say, look, we were better defensively and we can go into games and get something from it, be better rear guard, and then just try and see if we can nip something.
You know, Dwight, I'm watching you say all of this, and I believe you, and I think that you're right. But I have to draw back again on your experience as a coach, because I know 2 things are true. 1, I highly doubt you've been on the end of games like this, drubbings like this, And two, when your team is the one inflicting these drubbings as they have been over the last couple of the Costa Cup seasons.
We'll get back to that point in just a moment. No, you can continue, you were saying?
Your team has been on the giving end of a couple of these drubbings. I'm sure you're not saying, you know, let's ease them up, let's give them a little break. But here you are showing compassion to this Waterford team.
Well, that's what you do when you are in this box or you're sitting as a fan.
Oh, when you're getting old. Sure.
Only one of us is sitting in here, so.
And that's not me, nor you, Elige. Just for the viewers. But yeah, you can give that advice. But I mean, you go into games though knowing before that maybe, you know, you like to play an expansive brand, but there are teams that are just better equipped than you are. And you go into those games before with a plan, and you look in the game if you can, you know, change that in the game to get something from it. I just think they came here and decided, okay, we're going to go toe-to-toe, or we're going to go open. And even though they went direct and having players behind the ball, it wasn't organized enough, I think, from this Waterford team. They weren't tracking the runners. It's not something you felt they worked hard on. I'm not giving the coach a lot of bashing. Maybe he tried it, but the players didn't come out and do it. I don't know. It's just not happening.
I think more Mona players will come into this game, as our videographer is down for the count almost. At least we know he's in the right place at the right time.
Always in the action.
Yeah. I hope he pulled off the shot though.
No doubt about that one with him.
But I put you in that seat, Leger. I mean, what do you say to these Waterford boys then? I mean, if not try and do that, what do you say to them?
Well, you know, honestly, as I said, I do agree with you. I do think that this team should try and look for small victories, go in 10-minute intervals. But also at the same time, as you see, another Mona attack here. This one might trickle out. But at the same time, and I mean this in the nicest possible way, Dwight, you're, you know, obviously my senior. You're coaching. I've yet to get those coaching badges myself. So maybe, I'm not sure in coaching school if they teach you the right words to say, but for these Waterford players, I'm not sure what I would say at this moment in time.
Well, they're unable to clear their lines well, Waterford, but let's see what can be done with this attack. Hansen was looking for the run of Cashman Ferguson.
I think Mona might be looking to turn on the styles here.
Yeah, they are having fun, aren't they? Morton. Oh, he has so much space, Robinho Gordon. And out wide is Dunn. And Dunn will attack the box. And he has options inside. Dunn, was he brought down? I think there is a conversation to be had. Obviously not with referee Ferguson. He was in no-nonsense mood there. Here they come again with McKenzie. And McKenzie goes out wide to Leighton. Leighton has Morton for company, but he bypasses him and takes a shot. And Daly making a rear save. The ball comes back inside the area. And Mona will try again. They've now had 20 shots in this game, Mona High. And Waterford, oh, that's a wonderful challenge, but Swazo has to be careful. He's in the referee's book. The hand of apology goes up quickly. It's a free kick to Waterford. What happened here, Dwight?
I just felt he was on his way down already, and he was clumsy and tripped over the player. I think there's nothing. And in fairness to Mona, I was looking at the bench at the time because I know that they're very vocal. They're not shy of words. And I saw all the coaches beckoning to the player to get up and continue with the game. So I think referee Farquharson got that one right.
Do you think that would have been the case if it was 0-0?
and a different stage of the tournament. I bet against that, Ligia. I don't think it will be the same thing.
Raheem Henry, by the way, has been taken off. Jamar Marston replaces him.
Yeah, that good. Yeah.
Free kick to Waterford. Can they manufacture something here?
Hey, we're ready.
The wall needs to go back a couple of yards. Waterford, they have committed 4 players inside the box. All of them closely marked. But an opportunity here. Waterford. And no issues for Riquelme Edwards. Gordon takes the throw quickly. Peralta is inside the area. Was looking for some assistance. Brown on a hat-trick. Delivers well inside. And Rapinho Gordon, another chance for him.
It was a lovely flighted ball to the back post. Difficult because it was just dipping as it got to the defender who was backpedaling. So, you know, sometimes you get to that back post, you just flick it out, flick it behind you for a corner. It was impossible for him to do so based on the way it was dipping as it got to him. And just couldn't get anything going forward with that backpedaling. And in the end, fell kindly to Daly in goal. And 5 have gone past him, but I can't blame him.
Hansen trying to get by a third defender, setting his teammate up. Mona, they're just so strong at the back, aren't they? Suazo trying to evade a challenge, lost the ball in the process. Gordon, too much on it on that occasion. Leighton can be a tricky player himself. Ball played inside, looking for the return. Wasn't forthcoming from Gordon. Decided to go back out wide. Ball delivered inside at the back post. Trying to get there but couldn't. Denzel McKenzie.
I'm pretty sure he would want to get on the score sheet in this game. I think that this is a game that he should be able to open his account.
Suazo is coming off. Has had a decent game. Demario Brown comes on to replace Suazo. Kishane Gordon comes onto the park just to make Waterford's work a little bit harder, replacing Javier Dunn.
Simona just ringing the changes. This game is won already. And we're in the 65th minute, but it can be called. There's no evidence here that Waterford can have a recovery.
Even after 64 minutes with Carlton Brown also taken off. He's a leading candidate for player of the game, isn't he?
Yeah, certainly two really well taken goal. The first a stunner, and the third gently passing it into the bottom corner.
Yeah, there's his replacement, Javed Wallace. You just saw him on the screen.
Yeah, the instructions now coming. It just has to be about damage control. They've conceded just one in this second half, so that's a good look.
There's a Denby High team. They'll be up next against the defending Costa Cup champions, Clarendon College. And they'll be hoping that they're not on the receiving end of a similar scoreline for that D Cup opener.
Yeah, they'll definitely want to fare better than this Waterford team. And they'll be looking and probably saying, you know what, they'd come here to think that they're going to run at this Clarendon College team that has lost a lot of their starters. We'll give more details of that when that time comes around. They might want to think twice and just have a more cautious approach.
Yeah, so we mentioned Javed Wallace coming on for Carlton Brown, who's doing some stretching on the sidelines after putting in quite a few yards and a couple of goals.
It's certainly not the most difficult game he would have played, but when you just have to play what is in front of you, and he took advantage of the time and space afforded him.
Ball played out wide. Opportunity again for Kishane Gordon, trying to get on the score sheet here, and does! It's as you were from last season, from Mona's number 7. He didn't need a lot of time to warm up in this Manning Cup. He opens his account against Waterford High. It's 6-0 for Mona.
But again, another good strike, and he just looked to go to the far post. Goalkeeper Daly just couldn't make his mind up as to where he should go, rooted by a blast to the roof. And there was no stopping that one either. And like I said before, there's no blame that you can put at his feet or to his hands, goalkeeper Daly. Just look at this. Flew past him before he could react. Yeah, just with the outside of that instep there, to the roof. No stopping that one. And the goals just keep getting better and better and better. Really good strikes from Mona. And that's 6.
And it could get worse for Waterford.
Actually surprised it's not a tad bit worse already. I think that's how dominant Mona has been in this one. And I think this game has really been about stamping their authority. They know their challengers are watching. And I think this one is all about showing them that they're still here and they still aim to be dominant and win yet another Manning Cup trophy.
Mona again coming forward. Mackenzie on his left. Mackenzie! Easy does it for their number 10. 7-star performance from Mona High. Mackenzie now on the score sheet.
Yeah, I did say that he would definitely want to open his account against this team because almost everybody else was getting on goal. But, you know, you talk about the quality of this team and a team that was put out first, but the depth in the squad. Because a substitute came on and scored, and that touch that set up that one was the Mario Brown that plucked that from the sky and that laid it on a platter, and Mackenzie obliged. And so Ligier talking about the challengers looking on. It's not just to contend with the quality on the park at time, but can they match them with the depth in squad? That's going to be a big thing as well.
I think it's obvious to see already that very few can, if any at all. Denzel McKenzie, player of the season last season in the Manning Cup. I'm sure he's looking to return to that personal pinnacle, as well as a foul is called against Mona.
Yeah, the new sub, Ryan Gorzong, getting involved. Gorzong has replaced one of the goal scorers in Savike Morton.
Yeah, Martin had scored their second. And that's what I'm saying. I still look at Waterford, and they're looking to try and press high. I mean, maybe he thinks the goal is what is going to give them a good motivation coming out of this one. But I think it has to be that they had to change their shape, get into that block, try and make it difficult for Mona. They're getting a lot of space in behind, switching the point of attack, a lot of space out wide. It just can't be as they started this game, because it could end up 13-14. I mean, there's a lot of time in this. 20 minutes is a long time.
I can't recall seeing such a big scoreline or even the potential here in a Manning Cup opener. We've seen it on several occasions in the Costa Cup where the champions run riot, but as far as the Manning Cup is concerned, we rarely see that on opening day. And I'm wondering, when was the last time we saw a scoreline like this for a Manning Cup opener?
And that's something for the producer to try and help us out with as well.
Oh, nice touch. Gordon. Robinho Gordon. It's broken free here. Mackenzie trying to put it on his right foot on this occasion and lost it. Hansen. He was being held back there.
Well, a producer helping us out, but nothing close to this one, Donald. We're 7 already. Mona in 7th heaven in the 72nd minute. Producer saying 2022 was the last time we saw anything. I'm hesitant to say close to this, because it's not. It was 5-1 KC over Calabar. But the last attack from Mona, we saw some last ditch defending from Waterford, and that's because they had numbers behind the ball, and I was able to thwart that attack from Mona. And I'm saying that's what they have to do going forward from here.
Here comes Mona, and tried to play that one out wide. Hull striding forward. There was so much space for Ferguson over on this near side. If only they had the quality to find him.
Yeah, that's it too. They're just been outdone by a better team, and sometimes you just have to say, you know what, we've been beaten by a better team, or are being beaten by a better team, and so you just try to make it as difficult as possible, because you don't want to shatter these boys' confidence.
Who?
Or further damage it. Let's put it that way for Waterford, in terms of just try to reduce that effect on them and don't allow it to get significantly worse.
Free kick to Waterford. This one is driven over the top by Omarion Morrison. Again, the ball played along the channel. Wide open here. Peralta was trying to do something cheeky. The keeper is off his line and did enough. Did enough in the end. Well, any bit of small mercy will do for Waterford, I suppose.
Yeah, and they definitely want to be better going into that Jonathan Grant game.
And as the time elapses, much more space being afforded to Mona now. Maybe the fitness levels of this Waterford team also being tested.
Oh yeah, definitely. Leighton has done really well here, finding the side netting in the end. Well, he's not a player for the cameos anymore. He's already gone 75 minutes in this one, Sean Leighton. Hansen trying to retrieve that one. Was under pressure. Gordon, too far forward. Ball over the top once more, but no issues there for Jaheim Daly on this occasion.
Well, I don't think we look at just going through the way the game has unfolded. Mona has had it quite easy in this one. Producer telling me they have not been caught offside at any point in this contest. No need to. Most of their goals have come from in front, shooting from distance as well. No need to run in behind when you're afforded all the space in front. And when they do go in behind, well timed, because there's a lot of space.
And they're such a speedy team as well, so yeah, no need to stay right on the edge of the last man.
Had it been a low block from Waterford, then maybe those chances would have occurred of them being offside. And you talk about the fitness too. A lot of recovery runs had to be made by Waterford in this contest, and that would have taken some toll on them. Maybe they'll say it's good to get this one out the way pretty early. And you get the feeling they'll be thinking we're not the only one in this group that might be on this receiving end from this Mona team.
They'll definitely be hoping so, in case it goes down to goal difference in the end.
That's suggesting that this Waterford team is one of the teams that may just come out of this zone. So you're saying, Ligier?
I'm saying that they are optimistic that can still happen. And who knows, there's still a lot of football to be played. And
true.
They're facing one of the best teams, if not the best team in the competition very early. So.
And what other teams may do that may be competing for the second spot, because you feel that's what is going to be up for grabs in this one.
Exactly.
May just take some lessons from this one and say, look, we're not going to play like Waterford. We're definitely going to sit in and see if we can hit on the counter, but we're not going to take a drubbing. And that put Waterford at a disadvantage if Mona can't break down a low block.
Mona, they have been aggressive in the tackles as well. They've actually committed 8 fouls. It could speak to their determination in this game, or they've just been second best as far as some of the 50-50 challenges. They were just a little bit slow. I was about to say that you made the excuse for them in terms of the, what was the phrase you used?
In terms of what?
Them being leggy.
Oh,
for
yeah.
the opening game.
Loaded coming into this one. Yeah. But
that's the advantage of having a coach in the box. As I believe a foul is called. It is a foul.
They were wondering. I think the Waterford fans were wondering why
the advantage wasn't played. Was there an advantage to be played? Yeah, maybe.
It was actually a throw-in.
Oh, it's actually a throw-in. Okay.
Well, the fans didn't think it went out. That's it. So easy for them to, the fans, neutrals, to go on the side of the underdog.
Hands are going good, but or trying to.
But yeah, you were talking about determination. I wouldn't want to use that because then it would go against Waterford to suggest that they weren't determined to try and do something with this game because they've only committed one foul based on the stats from a producer. So I think it's just quicker to it, to the ball or to the challenge has been or more determined to try and get it off even when they're late. Mona. But maybe another small target, Lijay, for Waterford is to keep it, the scoreline, in single digits. So they only have 10 minutes to go in this one, roughly.
Yeah, I suppose the advantage is in favour of Waterford for them to do so. Leighton though on the charge. Ball played inside. Oh, trying to get a proper connection on that. Making the run inside the box.
I was thinking whether or not a header on it. I'd have to probably see it again.
I think it's Ryan Corzong.
Daly there for goalkeeper for Waterford was in shot. I think it would just blame him on one of those goals. I think the 6-1 went in under him. All the others, I don't think he stood a chance.
Gordon was well ahead of the play there. Chaotic challenge there. But it was enough from Cunningham. Well, the referee isn't even going to show the yellow card.
That was Dean Williams. You could have seen it from a mile away that it was going to beat him. He couldn't judge that bounce. And Ferry Farquharson is just going to give him a talking to. A let-off, you'd feel. Well, you can cut him some slack. We've seen Lionel Messi in the World Cup being cut slack by deliberately handling the ball.
And he wasn't on the losing end.
No.
7-0.
Exactly, so, hey, don't punish him any further. Farquharson, a teacher by profession, so maybe just trying to guide the student. It is schoolboy football. Mackenzie there, he would have opened his account today against this Waterford team. Definitely would feel like he'd want to be on the one of them that didn't get on the score sheet. Substitution there, number 10 coming out for Waterford, 17 going in. So
yeah, Palmer making an exit. Kalrik Singh comes in for him. Palmer has showed a couple of glimpses here of his talent. Oh, speaking of glimpses of talent, Gordon again deflected and over the top.
And they're hell-bent, Mona, on increasing the scoreline. There's no letting up. And the fact that they've made those substitutions, those players coming off the bench will want to make an impact as well to find themselves in the good book of their coach, Craig Butler. So that will ensure the intensity
Mackenzie's ball inside. Here's a header. It's over the top from Robina Gordon, who was also pretty desperate to get on the score sheet as well. He's been put up front by Coach Craig Butler, having started at the heart of defense for Mona High.
Did get the fourth one.
Oh, yes, he did.
Yes.
That he did, yes.
Maybe looking for a second. Should have done better with that header just now. You fell. Rose well, met it well, but just did not direct it on goal.
Leighton gets the return ball, delivers this one inside, and Waysome just managing to clear. There's a whistle on the play.
Handball, I think.
Yeah.
And look at the player, bemused, as they always are with it. From where we are at, it clearly hit the arm.
Mackenzie and Leighton behind it. Leighton walks away. And so it's going to be just Mackenzie. Let's see what can be accomplished here. Looking for an 8th. Mona High. He's dangerous from these positions. Hansen in the way. Nodded it behind for a corner kick.
Yeah, good service into the box there from Mackenzie. Had to be dealt with in that danger area. In the end, Mona get a chance to reorganize themselves.
Here's Mackenzie's ball inside the area. Morrison doing enough. Didn't really have an outlet. Leighton covering well. Nicely done. Again along that channel, Peralta finds himself in an offside position, the first in the trap.
And a bit too eager to go there. Probably knows time is running out. Maybe he wants to get on the score sheet as well.
Hansen trying to find Ferguson. Who is your player of the game? Is it still Carlton Brown? Or are you looking for somebody else? Based on the fact he came off in the 64th minute. Leighton again looking for the return ball. He continues his run. They're outnumbered here, Waterford, and Leighton trying to get that one across, and Morrison doing enough to put that one out of the danger area. Corner kick coming up for Mona High. They're taking it quickly. Lofted inside. Chance for Robina Gordon. Still trying to clear Waterford. They haven't gone too far. Gordon. Kishane Gordon looking for the spectacular. Wide of the mark. As we take a look at the SportsMax app moment of the game, and I suppose we could have chosen a number of them, but this one from Carlton Brown was really special.
Yeah, and I think he's firmly placed in the lead.
Mackenzie does well again. Oh, Mackenzie. Still Mackenzie trying to dink it inside the box. And Hansen just saying safety first.
Yeah. And that's the example I was trying to say, that if they had players deep in those blocks, numbers behind the ball, then they, even with those last defending, could have stemmed the tide of goals being conceded. But as we saw the SportsMax app moment there with Carlton Brown, with the opening of this contest and his first, was really the player that really set this game alight from the start there, and he had a decent outing, and despite coming off in the 60+ minute, I still think he was the standout player. From a blast from far to showing that he has the calmness to just pass it into the goal with his second, which was the third for Mona. And I guess we can actually judge this game on attacking, because Waterford didn't offer much for you to see. Mona defenders and defensive midfielders had a lot to work hard. So it's about the finishing and who had the most, and also some of the better ones. And I think he had 2 in that pile of 7. So more points to him.
There's a delivery inside the area, and Waysome is in the way. Don't think a lot of time will be added on. Good find. Peralta has also had a decent game. Gordon has looked good since coming on. Opportunity blocked. Yeah, just seconds added on to the 90. And the Waterford, they welcome the whistle from referee Andre Parkinson. The defending champions, Mona High, they've made a big statement here. And 7-0, the final score over the team from Portmore. And I tell you what, Carlton Brown and Denson Mackenzie and company will take a lot from this outing heading into the rest of the season. And so much to anticipate from this strong Mona unit. A statement, a big one on opening day with a fine victory.
Reigning champion for the 9 Cup, after the time, Mona 7, Waterford 0. Carlton Brown on 5, scoring 18 and 37. We have Gabby Corey on the 17 and Unit 30. Unit 40 on the 9, Romino Gordon. Unit 46 on the 6, Alex Suazo.
And confirmation there of the score. Mona winning this one by 7-0. They're in 7 heaven early in this season, and the Manning Cup is off and running. 90 minutes, and literally 90 minutes has gone. They really had a good showing today. They had to play a Waterford team that really made it easy for them, you feel, but not taking anything away from them. They took advantage of the space and time afforded to them, and the fans here would have seen a really good contest, or a really good showing or performance from Mona, making their intent clear from the outset that they are out to defend their Manning Cup title, the first in their school's history, won last season, and prying it from their grasp is not going to be easy at all. And you can still have a gauge, even when a quality team has come up against a weak opponent, to show the discipline to be able to not go down to the opponent's level, but to keep their performance on a high. And if you have an easy opponent, you should show in the scoreline, and that happened here for Mona. We had 6 different scorers in this 7-0. The likes of Martin, Mackenzie, Gordon, well, Rabino was on the score sheet as well. Kashane, Gordon as well, Suazo, Brown, all on the score sheet, along with Mackenzie, who rounded off with the 7. We see some yellow and red in the stands, and that is fans of Cornwall College for sure, unmistakably. And they will be coming up in that 3rd game today. Won't be carried live, but they'll be up against Herbert Morrison And we look at the Digicel full-time stats in this one. 7-0 for Mona, 25 shots, 11 on target, matching, well, Waterford with 3 shots, 1 on target, and that came in the first half, none on target in the second half. 8 foul committed by Mona. They were committed to this one. Waterford just 2, 1 yellow card apiece for that bust up in the middle, and no red cards in this one, a 1 offside apiece, and 7 corners to 1. Waterford fearing a little bit better, and that starts getting 1 back, and 67% of the possession, just grabbing 3% more in that second half. So they were a little bit better there, just trying to pick some positive for this Waterford team in this contest. And Mona, the only contest in Manning Cup so far is no. So it's the interview we're looking at for the man of the match, and it's Carlton Brown who is the player of this game, and he is down there and will be interviewed now.
All right, thank you, Dwight. I'm joined by Head of Digicel Prepaid Marketing, Rashima Kelly, and she will present the Digicel Man of the Match to none other than Carlton Brown Mona. All right, thank you, Rashima. Carlton, speak to me about that belter that you scored. What was going through your mind, and did you know you had it to execute that goal?
Yes, it's all from the practice on the training ground, led by my coaches and staff.
And how important is a statement win like this, seeing that you're how important is a statement win like this, 7-0, as defending champions?
It's really important to go off to a good start in the competition, and we have more to come.
And in terms of having more to come, what are the aims for you personally, your goals for this season? Yeah, your personal goals, anything.
To show the Jamaica that I'm the best defensive midfielder around.
All right, thank you, Carlton. All the best. Carlton Brown there of Mona. I'll be now speaking with Coach Reid of Waterford. Hi. Yeah, that's Coach Reid, Coach Kevin Reid. Here he is. Coach, speak to me about that performance. 7-0, it's a lot.
Honestly, it's a disappointed start for us. But experience got the better of these guys today. But nevertheless, you know, I believe they learned something today, and I believe the best team won today. So we just have to get back in training, put in some more work, and hopefully we will have a better second game.
Did you see anything out there that you could possibly build on in the coming days?
Definitely, we saw a lot what we need to work on. You know, this game was very important for us because we get to see our mistake, and I can tell you, we'll be looking better for the next game.
All right, thank you, Coach Reid. Yeah, that was Coach Reid of Waterford. And stepping into the shot now is assistant coach Kyle Butler. All right, Kyle, speak to me now. 7-0 as defending champions. Real statement win.
Yeah, definitely a statement win. Definitely the foundation is there, but we're still in second gear. We still have a lot we can improve on. We could have won around 10 easily, but as I say, the foundation is there and we want to build on that.
Your boys seem really prepared. How much work would you have put in the off-season to get to this point?
Well, there's no off-season for us. We're always training, we're always developing talent, and that's what Phoenix is about. That's what Mona is about. So that's what we're good at.
And speak to me quickly about Carlton Brown's performance as a midfielder. He says he wants to be the best D-mid in Jamaica. Do you think he can do it?
Yes, I believe he can. He has been putting in a lot of work this off-season, and today I didn't even think he had his best game, so there's more to come from him throughout the season for sure.
All right, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
So, Mona High coming away victorious here. A statement, a massive statement. 7-0 the final scoreline, the defending champions over Waterford, and we can't wait to see what else is in store for us from the champs.
Yo, ISSA. High schoolboy football look this season. People, them ready, you know.
Alright then, pick up, Manning Cup. Oliver your shield, yo, make we link up. We watch the Champions Cup, Ben Francis Water Cup. Which team are win the championship this season? Yo, ISSA. One diver school, I go finish the league and beat now. Which youth I go collect the...
This coverage of ISSA schoolboy football was brought to you by KFC, It's Finger Licking Good, and Water, land of good and water.
I love football, but I don't just play for me. I do it for Jamaica and for the fans on the journey with us. The ones who live for every shot and cheer every goal. The ones who know that performing on the big stage means big effort with big support. And of course, chicken with big flavor.
KFC's Big Deal. 3 pieces of delicious chicken, fries, and a drink. The perfect fan fuel for cheering on or history-making reggae girls. KFC, proud sponsors of Khadija Shaw and the Reggae Girls.
Totally Male has been around since 1994. Our primary focus is the aesthetic upgrading of all males. Our highly skilled team of women are trained, professional, and committed to first-class customer service. Centrally located at 6 Windsor Avenue,